This is an SWX Sports presentation. This is an SWX Sports presentation. The Gonzaga Bulldogs take on the Stanford Cardinals.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the McCarthy Athletic Center. Time for Gonzaga basketball here on SWX. And what a matchup this afternoon, featuring number 7 Stanford, bringing their show on the road to take on the unbeaten 3-0 Gonzaga Bulldogs. You're inside the McCarthy Athletic Center, and it is great to see everyone again. Greg Heister along with Stephanie Hawk-Freeman. Okay, Steph, Zags off to a good start, the 3-0, but man, is this a different team from a year ago.
It really is. They're bringing in a lot of players that have been in the program, but they didn't play bulk of the minutes last year, and so you can see the loss of Townsend and the two Worth twins. So new players stepping into roles. The Trong twins are doing a nice job of that. The two top scorers for this Gonzaga team.
And for Stanford, this is the defending national champion from a year ago. They've got just about the entire team back for head coach Tara Vanderveer.
Yeah, just one player not coming back, but she was a big key player. Kiana Williams, the point guard. So Stanford trying to find someone to fill that role. And one of those players that was sharing that role position was Haley Jones, and some big news tonight, or for today, she's not playing.
It is also the homecoming for the Hull twins. You'll find out all about them if you don't know of them when we come back. What an opportunity today for the Zags. They've met 11 times over the last 13 seasons. Stanford has won 9 of those 11 games. Number 7 Stanford and the Gonzaga Bulldogs up next live on SWX. Today's Gonzaga basketball broadcast brought to you by Arby's, your delicious neighborhood meat crafter. Stop by Arby's today. Arby's, we have the meats. And there is College Hall here on the campus of Gonzaga University. It's a cool shot. I love it out there, especially in the fall when the leaves are out. There's the starting lineup brought to you by Numerica Credit Union. Anna Wilson, sister of you-know-who, Lexi Hull, Lacey Hull, Ashton Prechtel getting the start because of the injured Haley Jones, and Cameron Brink one of the more dynamic bigs in the country. There's Tara Vanderveer, the great Tara Vanderveer, all-time winningest coach. And man, she's done it for nearly 4 decades now. It's an amazing story. And the starting lineup for Gonzaga: Kaylee Trong, Sierra Walker, Abby O'Connor, Virgier, and Kempton. So Gonzaga can counter with some size. Obviously, they've got good guard play. Do they have enough to take down the number 7 team in the country? Lisa Fortier, the head coach, man, has she just kept this thing rolling and really taken it to the next level, hasn't she?
She really has. And like you said, Greg, to take down the number 7 team tonight, it's going to take a team effort from Gonzaga. They're not going to be able to do it by themselves. They're going to have to come together and really take advantage of the opportunities that they get.
And there is Brink at the elbow, working on Virgier. Step through, missed it, and it's cleared. First rebound for Anna Maria Virgier.
And that's huge. Just a one and done. Do not give this long Stanford team any extra opportunities on the offensive glass. Virgier is in there for her rebounding.
She's got the ball now, looking to throw out. Now she goes at Brink. Moved her and scored off the glass. 2-0 Gonzaga.
Well, maybe I should add she's also in there for her strength as well.
Yeah, and she used it all there. There's Anna Wilson, number 3, with the basketball, an important player for Stanford this year with a loss to Kiana Williams to graduation. 10 on the shot clock and a reset for Stanford. Wilson to the far side. That's Lacey Hull to the post. Brink on Virgier, tied at 2.
And this could be a fun matchup tonight. Both bigs going in at each other. Cameron Brink listed at 6'4", Virgier at 6'5". I'm liking the way that both these teams are looking inside, and the bigs are going to work.
Trong into the corner. And now Melody Kempton. Too hard on that shot. And it's grabbed by Lexi Hull. Stanford only loss at home coming against the Texas team that really played them physical.
Yeah, they did. It was neck and neck for 3 quarters.
And our first tie-up possession arrow gives it to GU.
And in that 4th quarter, Texas really took over. Stanford not really shooting the 3 ball very consistent or well. They've taken a lot of 3s in their first couple games, and then versus Portland, they didn't take as many and saw a lot better success. I think that's something that Gonzaga can exploit and look at. Obviously, you don't want to let Stanford get on a roll from behind the 3-point line, but.
And a whistle, foul before the shot, and this will go against Brink. So our first foul of the game goes against Stanford. And the sophomore from Beaverton, Oregon, Cameron Brink, she's 6'4". And so she's out of the game right away and replaced by Alyssa Jerome, graduate player from Ontario, Canada, 6'3". You'll see the size advantage throughout the Pac-12. It is one of the best conferences when you're talking about women's basketball in this country, arguably the best. Missed there. Here's Anna Wilson. Left it for Hull. This is Lacey to the post. Francisca Belibi scores, and it's 4-2 Stanford.
And Belibi just listed at 6'1", along with Mel Kempton in there 6'1" as well. But Belibi, an unbelievable athlete. Can dunk the ball. We saw her do it a couple times last year. First player since Brittany Griner to do so, and she's very active.
And Belibi with the rebound, but then she's quickly tied up. And our second tie-up favors Stanford.
You know, you kind of look at it. Prechtel was in there with Brink, 6'4", 6'5", and Stanford, in a sense, went small, but they bring in Belibi at 6'1" and Jerome at 6'3", so that's,
yes.
You know, there's that size for you.
And Yvonne Ejim, the 6'1" sophomore from Calgary, Alberta, checking in for Gonzaga.
And I like this move because Ejim is equally as athletic. I think she could match up very well with Belibi. She is the third leading scorer for this Gonzaga team. Man, the potential for Ejim is just so high.
Belibi's got the ball, missed the shot. It's loose, grabbed by Sierra Walker. Back comes Gonzaga, Trong with her head up to Kempton. And she can't finish. Hull with the rebound, and back come the Cardinal.
And those are the opportunities you got to capitalize. Mel Kempton, she's got some work to do finishing inside. Sometimes I think she's just so active and bouncing around that she doesn't get set to finish her shot.
And stepping on the sideline was Lexi Hull. This Zag defense is giving Stanford some trouble here in the early moments, isn't it?
Well, think about it. We talked about that point guard position not being there, trying to fill in the shoes for Kiana Williams. And Anna Wilson, she can do it a little bit. We've seen some of the Hulls do it. Haley Jones was doing a lot of it, but they really haven't found that person to fill that quarterback position, so to speak.
And that ball a moment ago went to Belibi on the post. There were 3 white jerseys surrounding her, digging at the ball. Ejim inside, tying the game at 4.
Greg, I'm telling you, I love watching Ejim. She is so athletic, and did you see how high she got up on that move? I am so excited to just watch her throughout this season and the rest of her career here.
Belibi's got the ball. Now, both these players are listed at 6'1", but Francesca Belibi certainly looking bigger than Ejim, but right now Ejim holding her own against her. Here's Trong. O'Connor. Walker. Ejim posting up inside. Angle not there. Melody Kempton back to Trong. 10 on the shot clock now. Back to Kempton. And it goes! Count the bucket, the chance for 3.
Boy.
She brought rain with that shot.
And this is something Coach Fortier said. Mel Kempton and Ejim have to keep their eyes on those Trong twin sisters at all times, because you never know when you're going to get that ball. They see the court so well, and they see those passing lanes that you have to be on top of it.
So Kaylin Trong, number 14, now on the floor for the Zags. As O'Connor went out, 3-point play is good, 7-4 Gonzaga, and I think Stanford now well aware they're in for a tough game today in Spokane. Belibi on Ejim, got away with a little push with that left elbow and scores. But you saw the power there of Belibi, one of the 8 McDonald's All-Americans on this team for Stanford. Walker inside, missed it, and rebounded by Alyssa Jerome. To the post again, Belibi, easy 2.
Oh, it's just too easy for her when she catches that deep, and those guards give it to her right, where she has that lane for finishing.
Oh, great leave, Kempton, the finish. But what a great play by Kaylee Trong.
Again, just the vision in reading that defense and being able to dump that pass at the right moment.
Belibi into the corner. Anna Wilson. Back to Belibi. Offense going through that high post right now. Hand off to Lacey Hull. Back to Belibi. In and out. Ejim the rebound.
Well, I'm telling you, I don't think either team has an offensive rebound here tonight.
And good defense there, it looked like, by Lexi Hull, but she's called for the foul with 3:42 to play here in the first quarter. Gonzaga up by a point. Their offense getting it done right now. They're 4 of 9 to begin this game, but their defense making it tough for number 7 Stanford. We got a dandy brewing in Spokane. And welcome back. Today's Keys to the Game brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Earn your bragging rights at Northern Quest with more slot machines, table games, restaurants, lounges, and luxury hotel rooms than anyone else in the region. Northern Quest, yes, the best. More at northernquest.com. What do you got, Steph?
Hey, so in the 2 wins that Gonzaga's gotten against the Stanford Cardinal, they have brought the energy and activity. And then they've gotten volumes of defensive stops. And right now, tonight, the way they've started this first quarter, they're doing a great job. They are very active. They've got a ton of energy. They're boxing out. They're off to a good start to following these keys to the game if they want to pull off this win.
And what I'm seeing to start this game, and obviously we have great basketball players on the floor, right, on both sides, but I'm seeing 2 really well-coached programs.
Yeah. Greg, you're so right. I talked to Coach Fortier before this, and I just said, speak towards this preseason game and the ability, it takes both coaches to schedule this year after year. And it's just a testament to both of these coaches. They recognize that they're great basketball programs. It's a great preseason game for both of them to get a feel of where they stand and to learn a lot, going into conference.
Number 11, Kaylee Trong to the bench for Gonzaga after those free throws, and Abby O'Connor back on the floor. There's your series history, 9-2 Stanford leading. All those 11 games played in the last 13 years as Cameron Brink got inside and scores for the Cardinal, and they have the 1-point lead. But Gonzaga beat Stanford the last time they played in Spokane back in 2019.
That's right, and last 2 years ago down at Maples, they went to overtime. Took the Cardinal into overtime. And so these 2 teams battle, especially in these recent years. It has been close, good games.
Verjicke battling for the offensive board. She beat Cameron Brink and Alyssa Jerome for that basketball. And another chance for the Zags. Strong down low. Brink right there to stop it. 5 on the shot clock. Ejim from 18 feet.
Now
I wonder if that shot's in the scouting report.
Probably not, Greg. She has been working on that, to be honest, but
it is now.
It's not quite. But yeah, maybe that's the shot that solidifies it into her skill box.
And there's the turnover. Lacey Hull throwing that ball away. 3rd turnover of this quarter for Stanford. And another chance now for Gonzaga, up by 3. Their largest lead of the game to this point. Here's Verjicke, squares on Brink. Spinning, shot away. Brink was there defensively, called for the foul, and I believe that's number 2 on Cameron Brink. That's a big foul.
That is a huge foul, and I love the way Verjicke is facing up. They talked about her ability to distribute the ball. She's one of the better facilitators from that high post. She can see so well because she's tall, but she's strong. You could see her with that face up. She was looking, and then just said, hey, I'm just going to go to work here.
Good looking stroke. Her 3rd point to go along with those 2 rebounds. A lot on her shoulders today at 6'5" against a Stanford team that rolls in so many big post players. And now some pressure by the Zags. Kayla Williams, number 24. And now Lacey Hull with it, the senior out of Spokane. There's her sister Lexi. And now Hannah Jump, number 33, out there as well. Beliebe with it.
And you can just see the size. Look at Ejim's out there guarding a hole.
Lexi Hull off the glass. That's a crafty move and finish.
Oh, man, she is so crafty, and she does a nice job of taking advantage of just reading the plays. The Stanford team, they scout so well, and they're so disciplined.
And our first 3 of the game goes to the Zags. Kaylin Trong from downtown. Zags up by 6.
Greg, I gotta say, I'm just so excited. Both teams, just look at the players. There's just so much to talk about. Before the game, we were talking about Kaylin Trong coming off the bench. She's your leading scorer, and she's coming off the bench for Gonzaga. She's averaging 14 points a game, but Coach Fortier said she wants to bring a punch off the bench. And I'm telling you what, Kaylin is coming in confident. She's comfortable. She's got a good feel for when she enters the game, and she's knocking down shots.
And look, Gonzaga's 6 of 12. Stanford's 6 of 10 from the floor. Gonzaga's up by 6, and Stanford's hit 6 of their first 10 shots. Zags are getting to the free throw line. They've been there 5 times. But right now, the Zags not backing down from a bigger Stanford team. The physicality of the Zags on par with the Stanford Cardinal. Trong down the lane into the corner. Shot from the corner, up and good. Sierra Walker.
The Trongs put so much pressure on the defense. They have to either help or leave them alone, and they're beating their players off the dribble and or they're finding their teammates open.
Actually, that last shot by Eliza Hollingsworth. And the miss by Stanford as we near 30 seconds left in this first quarter. Zags up by 7. O'Connor trying to go to Hollingsworth down low, Trong with it. And now she backs out Lexi Hull.
And this is a luxury that Coach Fortier has. You bring Hollingsworth off the bench. She is a shooter. She is a very good shooter.
Trong 4 on the shot clock at the elbow, looking to pass it. Hollingsworth for 3. Bang!
That's what she can do. She can pick and pop. She's a good size coming in at 6'3".
Dimitri, that won't count. Gonzaga 23, Stanford 13, a long way to go. First quarter in the books. Zags 8 of 14. And they lead number 7 Stanford by 10, 23-13. Gonzaga Hoops Play of the Game brought to you by Multicare Health System. Whether you're at home or in the kennel, Multicare's team of doctors, nurses, and specialists partner with you all season long. Zags 2 for 4 now from behind the three-point line, but that last one, as the shot clock about to drain out, Eliza Hollingsworth takes her time, buries it. What a shot that was.
Hey, anytime you can have a big that can stretch the defense like that, it just opens the paint there for your guards and or to go to work down low. Money.
That's big time right there. Team needed it. No time left on that shot clock. Calmly with Lexi Hull bearing down on her, hand up, and Hollingsworth buries the 3.
Hey, and we can touch on this. Coming off the bench, you can see her, look at they've got her in the corner there, Hollingsworth looking for the 3 there.
Beliebe forcing the turnover there. Lexi Hull down the lane, left hand up and good. Stanford needs her to get going. Without Haley Jones on the floor, Offense has got to come from others. Haley Jones scores about 14 points a game for Stanford.
But going back to this, so the GU bench has been averaging 34.7 points in their 3 games.
Shot inside, 15 now. Lead back to 10, there's the turnover. Possession back to Gonzaga, turnover number 4 against the Cardinal.
And for the most part, if you're watching this, defensively, Gonzaga is making the right reads. They're getting into the paint, they're looking for those high lobs, they're getting that help side defense coming over, and they're doing a nice job of just sticking to the scout and what they're supposed to be doing.
There's Hollingsworth. Believe tried to poke it away. Hollingsworth with it again. Kempton flashing through the middle. Working on Believe. She poked it away. Picked up by Anna Wilson. Head up, looking. Shot on the way from Hannah Jump. Missed the shot. Open 3 in transition. Gonzaga basketball.
And Jump is one that you cannot lose in transition or sag off of. She is in there for 3-point.
Here's Kempton. Kaylee Trong with Wilson on her back. Poked away. 9 on the shot clock and a reset. From the elbow. Shot too far. Kempton the offensive rebound. Yvonne Jim.
And this is, Kaylee is going against the reigning Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year, Anna Wilson. That is a tough job. She is so crafty.
What a play by Melody Kempton. She got Ashton Prechtel in the air and then took her with the left hand. Free throws coming for Gonzaga. They're 5 of 5 from the charity stripe to begin this game. I've always loved Melody Kempton's game. She's so bouncy, energetic.
She is, and she's done as she's gone through this program, she's matured, she's been able to kind of corral that energy, you know.
Yes.
The coaches say she has never shown up and had a bad day, and if she was having a bad day, you didn't know it. She always comes back. She's going to give you her all.
1 of 2 from the line, largest lead of the game now for GU. And again, shot from the corner off by Jump. But Believe earns the trip to the rebound. Melody Kempton picking up the personal foul. 7:40 to play first half.
And that's where, if you're Gonzaga, you can't go straight up with Stanford. You got to get your body into their bodies, box them out, clear out some space.
Well, look, the one thing you know for sure is not going to happen. This is a team that won the national championship a year ago. They're not going to get flustered. I don't care how big the wall is that they're looking up at, down by 11, now down by 10 after that free throw. They will not be flustered.
Yeah, and don't get complacent
they're coming
if
back.
You're Gonzaga. Yeah,
they're coming back.
You can't relax by any means.
8 points, 3 of 6 from the floor, 2 of 4 from the line, 3 rebounds. And that's off of Lexi Hull.
Boy, and if you are passing anywhere near a Hull twin, you have got to make sure that that pass is on point and where they can't get it, because they love to shoot those gaps.
Strong with the shot. Jim picks up the loose ball, and it goes! Ejim with 6 points and a chance to make 7.
Boy, that was a scramble there. A bunch of players flying around. Ejim just grabbed it and took it from that space. And Sierra Walker, give her credit, coming in, flying in from the wing there.
Yvonne Ejim at the line. You could tell last year when she showed up that she has the potential to be a really special player here at Gonzaga. Seems to have all the tools, and you see the ball when it leaves her hand from the line. There's a lot of touch in that right hand.
She got some playing time last year, but it wasn't until that tourney, the WCC tourney, when a lot of the players went down with a sickness, and she stepped up huge for Gonzaga, and that's when I think people really got to see what she could bring.
Yep.
Hey, and that, how many times have we seen her go to that right drive? You've got to start shadowing to that left hand, I think.
Says a former Defensive Player of the Year in the West Coast Conference.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I was not.
You weren't?
No.
Did you play? Were you a good defender?
I block shots.
Oh, well,
there
that's
you go.
defense.
All right.
Well, you were the player of the year in my book.
Well, thank you.
6:47 to play first half, 29-18. Believe me, 2 dunks last year for Stanford. 2 players on this roster for Stanford that can get that feat done. Abby O'Connor out of the game. Virgagay, number 1, back on the floor for GU with 4 points. I thought you won the Defensive Player of the Year award too.
No, not defensive. Just overall.
Just overall. That's great. Yeah, nothing to see here. Egypt, jump shot, a little long. Lacey Hull with it. Here's jump. Trong right there under her, though. The Kaylin version of Trong. And now Hull working on Kaylee. Here's Lexi. Bad pass from Lacey. Picked up by Walker. Here's a chance on a 2-on-1. Walker throws it up. Great defense by Lacey Hull. Back comes Stanford now. Hannah jump into the lane. That shot well off by Kiki Irafin.
Hey, good job by Virgagay there. Just making them stutter just enough and taking the shot that they probably did not want on that break. Stanford had the numbers.
And picked up by Belibi. And Stanford now trying to exert their will on this game as we near the 5-minute mark. Iriafin missed the easy one inside for Stanford. 5:31 to play. It's out of bounds. It will remain with the Cardinal. Belibi out of the game for Stanford. Virgagay, Walker out for GU. Melody Kempton and Michaela Williams back on the floor for GU. Lexi Hull into the paint. Left it short. Dug out, outlet near side. Kaylin Trong. Here's Kempton on the post. Got there quickly, working on jump. Shot up and good.
Wow, I don't know how she got that off, Greg. She was so far under the basket there.
And the turnover. That is turnover number 6 against Stanford. Ejim with it. Williams. Kempton wanting the ball again. There it is. She got it down deep. Missed the shot, but free throws coming from Melody Kempton. She's got 10 points. Kempton 2 of 3 from the free throw line. What a start for the Zags. Back in a moment, 31-18. And welcome back to the McCarthy Athletic Center. When Tara Vanderveer brings her team to Spokane to play, she walks in as an absolute legend of the game. Look at those numbers.
It's just phenomenal, and I think what everybody that talks about Tara is that she is here to build up the women's basketball game. She supports so many coaches. She just wants what's best for the game, and this is one of the things. Hey, look at she's bringing her team up here. Look at this crowd.
Yeah,
this is a great place.
Totally.
You know, you're not only getting to play a quality team, but you're playing in front of an atmosphere like this. What she's done for the game of basketball, I mean, we could sit here and talk all night about it. I mean, it's
1,127 wins. Only Coach K in front of her.
Yeah, and he's retiring.
And for her to do it at Stanford too, right? Like, think about the academic standards. You're only recruiting a type of athlete that can go to Stanford, first of all.
Yeah.
But then they have to have the athletic ability to excel at this level.
Yeah, it's just awesome. Just an honor to have her here, and just so fun to watch.
Okay, what a game we've got in front of us. 33-18, Stanford a long way back, but again, the defending national champion will not be too upset about this. They'll continue to battle, and Hannah Jump buries the three, 33-21. That's Stanford's first make from downtown.
And out of that timeout, looking to post, Lexi Hull against the Trong twin, down low, looking hard, and then Gonzaga losing track of Jump. You can't, that's what she's in there for, is that outside shooting. Yeah,
she's only out there to shoot it from behind three. And there's Lexi Hull now with the defense to her sister Lacey. Here's Jump, transition three on the way. Bang! Two in a row, 33-24. So a 6-0 run for Stanford has pulled them back to within 9.
You can't get careless. You can't get soft right now. Like you said, Stanford's going to keep coming.
Foul called on Lexi Hull. That's her second personal foul. Should point out Cameron Brink, number 22, back on the floor for Stanford with those 2 personal fouls as well.
The length that the Hull twins bring, you can see her just so smart, using those knee pads, but keeping the dribble alive. Getting it up court, and Stanford, Hannah Jump, gotta find her.
Well, what I love about that, Lacey Hull not only got the ball to Jump as Strong fires the three, but she used her body to shield off the defender from getting out the Jump. Smart play. Well, she's at Stanford. Well, it should be pointed. It's probably no easier to get into Gonzaga these days either.
Right, just the basketball IQ.
Yeah, both these teams. These are unique humans on the floor right now playing this game of basketball. Alyssa Jerome and a foul away from the ball inside, and I believe it's on Jim.
I think Kempton.
No, it is on Melody Kempton. I can't see through the massive bodies in there. Jim's not even on the guy. She is. Kempton out of the game. Virjoge replaces her. Zags have led by as many as 15. Brink falls on the floor with the ball. And it's picked up by the Zags. Abby O'Connor. Sarah Walker. Here's Strong. Ejim setting the screen. Little dribbling session there. Missed the shot. Caitlin Trong, and Brink with the rebound. Lacey Hull to her sister, Lexi. Here's Jump. Down low. The vision there by Jerome. Lexi Hull from 8 feet. And now they're going to call another tie-up. A lot of contact underneath that rim as Alyssa Jerome was in there throwing a shoulder. But possession arrow favoring Stanford.
We talked about the size advantage of Stanford, but really Gonzaga has some length too. Abby O'Connor on Lexi Hull right now. Lexi 6'1", Abby's 6 foot. And she is. We don't talk about her that much because I don't think she brings a lot of attention to herself. But she is so solid, and this Gonzaga team trusts her so much. Defensively, she's long. She's disciplined.
Jump into the lane. Not just a three-point shooter. Left hand off the glass, and it's 33-26.
Boy, and talk about Jump coming in and giving them the spark they needed.
Yeah, Jump now with 8 points on 3 of 5 shooting. And that's against GU. Gives it back to the Cardinal with 2:18 to go here in the first half. Gonzaga's 15-point lead now trimmed to 7. And that foul on Ejim, her first. Anna Wilson with it. Jump to Hull. Prechtel, that she can shoot it from out there. Long on that shot. Jump the offensive rebound and another chance.
Yeah, you got to get out on Prechtel.
Yeah.
In that Texas, I believe it was the Texas game, when they were down, they ran 2 or 3 three-pointer plays for Prechtel.
Good defense there by Egypt. May have got a fingertip on that shot by Jerome. Back come the Zags. Up by 7. 1:35 now to go in this first half. Ten on the shot clock. Here's Egypt. Verzegay clears out. Egypt can't get it to the rim. Prechtel runs down the loose ball in the corner and then lost it. Gonzaga ball.
Got to be aware, only 2 seconds on that shot clock.
And Lacey Hull coming in for her sister Lexi. Kaylin Trong, number 14, will be inbounding it for the Zags. Got 2 seconds to get a shot off to Egypt. Snagged out of the air by Alyssa Jerome.
And Stanford was all over that. The bench was telling them, everybody was calling out the lob.
And now a touch foul called there on Kaylin Trong. Kaylin doesn't agree, shaking her head. 1:13 to go. Just the 4th team foul on GU. Lacey Hull. Here's Hannah Jump with 8 points here in the second quarter. She's got it again. Prechtel now from 3. Stanford can shoot it. Prechtel is big, 6'5", a junior from Colorado Springs, Colorado. And it's back to a 4-point Gonzaga lead here in the final minute of the first half. Trong at the free throw line. Verzegay looking for Egypt. She'll shoot it too hard. She got it back and another chance. And now a whistle. Shot by Trong doesn't count. And a foul on Stanford, I believe. The officials are over at the table. And yeah, I think there was a shot clock issue.
Yeah, they're saying the ball didn't hit the rim there.
That shot by Verzegay.
Yeah, looked like they had 19 on the shot clock. They dropped it down to 8 now.
So that shot by Verzegay had actually reset to 20. Shouldn't have. And now with 8 on the shot clock, O'Connor to inbound. She needs help. Got it to Trong. 4. Trong into the lane. Ejim from 16. Big go. Big shot.
You think she heard me talk about that mid-range game?
I hope so. Zags back in front by 6. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a whale of a second half in front of us, don't we? Lacey Hull with O'Connor right there. Prechtel another 3. You can't do that. And what was a 15-point Gonzaga lead has been trimmed to 3 by Stanford thanks to that 3-point shot. The Cardinal 4 of 8, I believe, all coming in the second quarter. Prechtel with 2 of those and Hannah Jump with 2 as well. What a first half. Number 7, Stanford and Gonzaga.
Yeah, it definitely gave them a breath of life. It looked like Gonzaga kind of had them on the ropes, but those 4 big three-pointers by Jump and Prechtel really pulling them back in.
3-point lead. The Zags 12 of 27 in that first half. Stanford ended up 13 of 26. And we're joined by Coach Lisa Fortier now. Coach, kind of a tale of 2 quarters there. Your thoughts going to the locker room?
Well, we let them get loose from 3. It wasn't anybody doing anything they weren't supposed to do. Those 3-point shooters made the 3s, and so our team has to do a much better job of communicating those things and getting through the screens because we can't afford that.
Yeah, Coach, hey, great offensive performance. What are you looking for to improve on going into the second half?
I think we lost a little bit of energy in the pace that we were playing with. I think we need to continue. We didn't get as many offensive rebounds in that second quarter, so we need to just stay with our pace, get the ball to the right people at the right time, and then I think we got caught doing a little bit too much one-on-one, and we're better when we're moving the ball and finding our teammates.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach Lisa Fortier. Zags. Good news, they have the lead in the half.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm definitely with 48. I think when they struggled a little bit, they were stagnant on their offense. They tried to do too much one-on-one. So obviously both coaches going into the halftime, going to make some halftime adjustments, but Gonzaga up by 3.
Zags with a great opportunity in front of them. We're at half at the McCarthy Athletic Center. And welcome back to the McCarthy Athletic Center. 35-32. And if you look at that score, you're like, okay, good shape. What a great first half by the Zags. They led by as many as 15, and then the Cardinal, ranked number 7 in the country, came storming back. But we knew they would.
You're absolutely right, and they figured they made some adjustments, and they started getting some looks. They run in some plays for those outside shooters, a jump and Prechtel, and they knocked down. They knocked down 4 threes, and that'll pull you back into a game real quick.
Well, this is our first broadcast of Gonzaga women's games this year, so we haven't seen you in a while. We wanted to take a moment and talk about the great Courtney Vandersloot and what's happened with her this year, and I know you know her well, but the greatest player, obviously, in Gonzaga women's history, and maybe Gonzaga basketball history, frankly.
Yeah, getting the WNBA championship, that game.
Well, besides John Stockton, let's clear that up. But Courtney's right there.
She's still playing. She's got a lot of time
yes.
to add to what she's got. But unbelievable game. I watched it, and I had chills, just chills watching that game, and how towards the end there, her and Parker kind of just took over and coming up big.
And there you see the thrill of winning a championship. And, the great thing about Courtney, obviously, she's got all the physical skills to play this game, can shoot it, really knows how to set up her teammates, makes everybody on the floor better. It's her IQ. It's her ability to think this game, and maybe not even think it. It's just instinctual, right? Like, God blessed her, and she's able to run the floor and just know where the ball should go.
You're right. It's that vision and delivering the ball to her teammates to where they can be successful. The only Zag to win WCC Player of the Year 3 times. Still holds the NCAA record for most assists in a single season. I mean, what she's doing is unbelievable, and you can see other former Zags there appearing in a finals for professional basketball, NBA, WNBA, and Just how exciting for Courtney. It was just like I said, again, just had chills running. It just chills.
Yes,
You
I
know?
know. It was fantastic. If you're wondering, Adam Morrison not on that list, didn't actually appear in the games, but won the championship with the Lakers. But, you know, that's just kind of where both these programs have elevated in the last 2 decades. And the quality of players that are coming through the McCarthy Athletic Center today are, I don't think anybody ever dreamed it would be this good. And if they tell you they did, they're lying.
You're not believing them.
I'm not buying it. It's unbelievable where both these programs on the men's and the women's side. Number 7, Stanford, down at the half to Gonzaga. Back in a moment.
Yeah, check 1, 2. Check, check.
Gonzaga women's basketball will be back at the McCarthy Athletic Center on Friday, December 3rd, when they host the Wyoming Cowgirls at 6 p.m. Be sure to come out and support your Zags. Pick up this year's Gonzaga women's basketball fan shirts located at the Bulldog Sports Shop in the Northeast Concourse, line section 108. Shirts are available for just $20 plus tax. Get yours today.
This Gonzaga halftime report is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino. Join us at Coeur d'Alene Casino for a mouth-watering steak dinner, pampering spot treatment, or the hottest games around. Coeur d'Alene Casino, a proud sponsor of Gonzaga Athletics. Winning, it's in our nature. Greg Heister, Stephanie Hawk Freeman. We are at the half between number 7 Stanford and the Gonzaga Bulldogs here at the McCarthy Athletic Center. And the number's pretty even, actually, when you really look at it, except for the free throw line.
Yeah, Gonzaga getting themselves there, getting some easy opportunities. You know, in that second quarter, Gonzaga's field goal percentage just hovering around 31%. So just going back to what Coach Fortier said, you know, maybe trying to do a little bit too much one-on-one instead of keeping that offensive moving and getting the defense out of position and taking advantage of it.
I would say that Gonzaga dominated the first quarter. Stanford dominated the second quarter, and when the dust cleared, it was the Zags with a 3-point lead, led by that advantage at the free throw line. 9 of 10 did a good job getting there. When they got there, they hit them. But otherwise, the number's pretty even. The Zags have to start guarding that 3-point line because that's where Stanford hurt them in the second quarter.
Absolutely, yeah. You got to pick up Jump and Prechtel.
And those players are both in the scouting report as being able to bury the three. We are at the half, 35-32 our score. Gonzaga up by 3 on number 7 Stanford. Back in a moment. Hi, Coach.
Hi, Greg.
I'm here with Stephanie Hawk Freeman, too.
Hi, Coach.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi.
And welcome back to the McCarthy Athletic Center, joined now by head coach Tara Vanderveer. Coach, kind of a tale of two quarters. What flipped the switch for you guys in that second quarter?
Well, I thought we started playing a little bit better defensively. We quit fouling, and obviously we had some people knock down some big shots. Hannah Jump came in and gave us a big lift. Ashton Prechtel knocking down some shots, but we're really, we're just really a work in progress, and we're trying to figure out what combinations of people we can play, and we need to be much more aggressive. We need to rebound better.
Yeah, so going into that second half, Coach, obviously you made some adjustments between the first and the second quarter. What adjustments are you looking at halftime? What did you tell your team?
Well, I think we have to keep doing the good things we were doing and just really take care of the basketball. We turned it over a couple times. We have to be more aggressive without fouling. We sent them to the free throw line 10 times. So let's hope that we can do that.
Hey, Coach, I just want to take a quick second and say thank you for all of us in the Northwest for your willingness to bring your program up here and play on the road on this floor. What a treat for all of us.
Great.
It
Thanks,
is.
Greg.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you when we play at Washington State.
That's right.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.
Happy holidays.
All right. Bye.
A little bit better.
And welcome back to the McCarthy Athletic Center, joined now by head coach Tara Vanderveer. Coach, kind of a tale of two quarters. What flipped the switch for you guys in that second quarter?
Well, I thought we started playing a little bit better defensively. We quit fouling, and obviously we had some people knock down some big shots. Hannah Jump came in and gave us a big lift. Ashton Prechtel knocking down some shots, but we're really, we're just really a work in progress, and we're trying to figure out what combinations of people we can play, and we need to be much more aggressive. We need to rebound better.
Yeah, so going into that second half, Coach, obviously you made some adjustments between the first and the second quarter. What adjustments are you looking at halftime? What did you tell your team?
Well, I think we have to keep doing the good things that we were doing and just really take care of the basketball. We turned it over a couple times. And we have to be more aggressive without fouling. We sent them to the free throw line 10 times. So let's hope that we can do that.
And Coach, I just want to take a quick second to say thank you for all of us in the Northwest for your willingness to bring your program up here and play on the road on this floor. What a treat for all of us.
Great. Thanks, Greg.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you when we play at Washington State.
That's right.
All
Thanks,
right.
Coach.
Happy holidays.
All right, bye. All right, Coach Vanderveer there taking some time out. Spent some time with us, and we are ready to go. Zags begin with the basketball and a 3-point lead. Can they take down number 7 Stanford? Here's Sierra Walker working on Hannah Jump. O'Connor now to Melody Kempton. Not great spacing between Kempton and Virgagay there. 10 on the shot clock. Kaylee Trong inside. Cameron Brink to slow her down. Jump shot good. Melody Kempton.
Great patience on offense, moving the ball around, and just a confident shot by Mel Kempton. And you can see Coach Vanderveer talked about mixing up those lineups and figuring out rotations and things like that. Anna Wilson not starting this second half. Hannah Jump in there instead.
Prechtel missing that 3. Kempton late to get out there, but Prechtel doesn't knock it down. She's now 2 for 4 from behind the 3-point line. Here's Melody Kempton leading Gonzaga with 14. Jump hook, missed it. Virgagay the offensive rebound. And now back out to Walker. Lexi Hull guarding the ball. Shot away, Trong off. Lacey Hull with the rebound. Lacey wanting to go to the post. Prechtel not ready for it. Here's Lexi. Prechtel. Virgagay right there. Hannah Jump hit a couple of threes in the second quarter. Prechtel again wide open, short. Lexi Hull, the offensive rebound, putback won't go. The battle, Cameron Brink and Kemp. Actually, that's O'Connor battle for it, and it's off of Cameron Brink. Gonzaga basketball.
And this has been a couple times we've seen where they put Prechtel and Jump, the Cardinal have, in that on-ball screen, and Prechtel will just jump while Virgagay is helping off on Jump.
And you got to figure Stanford knows that. They're going to continue to go to it. Here's Trong in the corner. Lacey Hull screen was set by Kempton. Trong in the paint, out to Walker. 7 on the shot clock. Deep 3 coming. Kaylee Trong can't hit it. Loose ball grab by Brink. Stanford down by 5 with the basketball. Prechtel trying to go low to Brink. Here's Hannah Jump. Cameron Brink got the edge on Virgagay and scores.
Yeah, Brink just kept working and getting her angle down low. Her teammates finding it. It's just too deep.
Kempton setting the screen. O'Connor into the lane. Brink, Virgagay battle for it. And tied up, possession arrow will give it to the Zags. Yvonne Ejim, number 15 on the floor. Virgagay goes out. You know, I watched the Stanford-Texas game. It was apparent in that game that Tara's still working, trying to get the rotations. And she talked about it in our halftime interview. They're trying to find the combinations that work well. The loss of Kiana Williams, this was a guard that was really running the show for Stanford for a few years, and there's a backcourt violation.
Well, and then you think okay, so since that Texas game, they played University of Portland. You're trying to figure out who's going to bring that ball up, and you had Haley Jones in the rotation.
Yes.
Now she's not here tonight, so then that throws another kink in trying to figure out the rotations, roles, and you can just see Gonzaga picked them up, and they struggled. They got a 10-second backcourt violation.
Walker buries the 3. Big shot. Zags back in front by 6.
We've talked about Prechtel and Jump in for their shooting. That's what Sierra's in for as well.
Cameron Brink inside and a chance for three. Foul called on number 4, Abby O'Connor.
And you can see Abby coming over. Knows she needs to be there, just didn't get quite set. And I'm not sure, I didn't see her feet, but was she may have been inside that arc as well.
Brink now with 8 points in 9 minutes. She spent most of that first half on the bench with 2 personal fouls. And this is a key player for Tara Vanderveer and the Stanford Cardinal. Hall battling for the offensive rebound off the miss. And now Hannah Jump for 3. Bingo! And it's a 1-point Gonzaga lead.
It's getting physical out there, Greg. Bodies are flying around. These teams are competing.
Yeah, it's go time, isn't it?
Well, I'm going to tell you, if you do not get a body on a Cardinal player, they are going to get in there and get their hands on those rebounds. You've got to box out.
Ejim fighting for position, but traveled. And she looks with dismay at the official. Turnover number 7 in this game for Gonzaga. And now Stanford with a chance to take the lead. And this would be their first lead since the opening minutes of that first quarter. I believe it was 4-2 Stanford. Foul on Melody Kempton. And now she's got a look of dismay.
That is her 3rd.
And that's a big foul for Gonzaga. Kempton with 14 points, 2 rebounds, and she's forced to the bench now with Stanford surging. And you can see the size advantage with Prechtel and Brink on the floor right now for Stanford. Lacey Hull with the inbound. Needs help. Got it to Hannah Jump. There's Lacey. Kaylin Trong right there defensively. Prechtel into the corner. Jump for 3. Bingo! Stanford in front.
You cannot give her a centimeter of space right now. She is on.
Hannah Jump now with 14 points. And the Zags facing some adversity. Trong to the post. Hollingsworth hit some big shots in that first quarter for Gonzaga. Kaylee Trong, 6 on the shot clock, into the lane. Brink was there. Knocked to the floor is Strong and no whistle. Can't believe that.
The GU bench is fired up about that. Cameron Brink, though, one of the best shot blockers in the nation.
And now calling for the ball. Can't handle the pass. Williams took it away for Gonzaga. Kaylee Trong. Hollingsworth inside, trying to post up against Prechtel, and now she's out to set the screen. And a foul called on Lacey Hull. 4:39 to play here in the third quarter. Number 7, Stanford, has battled back to take the 2-point lead at 42-40. Great basketball to come. Well, on August 31st, Mike Roth retired after a distinguished 24-year career as Gonzaga's athletic director, during which both the university and athletic programs saw unparalleled growth. To commemorate his career, Gonzaga announced before the game against Texas last Saturday that the school will commemorate Roth's legacy by naming the road that runs directly south of the McCarthy Athletic Center. It's now named Mike Roth Way. 24 years as the athletic director here, 34 years with the university. He oversaw facility transformations, including construction of this arena and the Volcker Center. Gonzaga teams won 66 West Coast Conference championships, made 74 NC2A postseason appearances during Roth's tenure, and look what's happening there.
Wow.
The great Stephanie Hawk.
We had to dust some film off to get that one, didn't we?
Dust some film.
Oh, man, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Mike's such a good man. And,
man.
Gonzaga's lucky to have him. And I would like to point out, I don't think he's missed a game since the season has started.
Right,
He's still here.
He's still here. His presence. And
he's just not standing in the tunnel down there where he normally does.
Yeah, he's giving me a hard time before the game. And
Strong missed the shot. Offensive rebound by Ejim. She can't get it to go. And another tie-up, and it stays with GU. Well, there are going to be some bodies banging here in the final minutes of this third quarter into the fourth quarter. This has been a tightly contested game between Gonzaga and number 7 Stanford. Here's Ejim, squares on Prechtel. Now she'll drive into the lane. Brink there to help. Hollingsworth, and it falls through.
Goodness.
But Ejim can play. Double team came, and she got it to her
that
partner.
Ball just squeaked right in there.
Ties the game at 42. Another sellout crowd today.
Boy, Greg, I was just thinking about these two teams, and if you're either coach, you just want your team to come out and compete, right? You don't want to beat yourselves, and these teams are competing. They are going to work.
Oh, Cameron Brink over Hollingsworth. What a finish that was.
Had some big three-point shots by both teams. The posts are going to work down low.
Brink 6'4", Prechtel 6'5". The interior right now for Stanford, huge. Against a Gonzaga team that has players that are 6 and 6'1".
You got the inside advantage with Hollingsworth.
Hollingsworth out to Trong, and a whistle, and a 3-second call inside against Gonzaga. So turnover number 7 for the Zags gives Stanford the ball. They lead by 2. Trong with it, and a whistle, and I believe Trong stepped on the end line. So possession will go to Stanford here with 2:53 to play in the third. And you hear the boos raining down in the McCarthy Athletic Center.
Boy, you are not going to see Lexi Hull miss very many of those. Stanford is so smart, and the Hulls are so great at making cuts to the basket and getting themselves open for looks like that.
So Melody Kempton, along with a host of others, checking back on the floor. Melody important, leading Gonzaga with 14 points, but 3 personal fouls. Lexi Hull drives on Kempton, left hand good. Melody could not pick up her 4th there, had to let her go.
Yep, got to be smart there.
Stanford now up by 4, their largest lead here in the third quarter. Here's O'Connor. Drive down to the baseline, and then she traveled. Can't drive the ball that deep.
Well, and I don't necessarily think that's O'Connor's strong suit either. Right now, struggling a little bit offensively. She's out there. Defensively, she's sound. Hasn't quite found her shot yet this year. And so just got to stay within yourself there.
Anna Wilson. She's got the ball. Strong defending. Hannah jumped with the ball, but an offensive foul away from the basketball. And is this on Brink or on Prechtel?
Prechtel.
It's on Prechtel, number 11.
Boy, there for a second it looked like the referee was pointing to Brink.
That's number 1 on Prechtel. 4 team fouls, actually 2 team fouls on Stanford this quarter. Here's Walker. Virgege, Kempton against Prechtel. Prechtel with the block. Melody runs it down, threw it to jump. Hand off to Lexi Hull. Here's a 2-on-1. Lexi to the bucket, blocked by Trong. Loose ball, and Jersey's on the floor, tied up. Possession gives it to Stanford.
Boy, what a defensive stop there. Stanford had the numbers.
Prechtel with the huge size advantage in there defensively.
Kaylin just staying clean.
Minute 53 to go in the third quarter. Hannah jumped to inbound it. And now the officials want to talk something over. And we're ready to play. Here's Brink with the basketball in the corner. Out to Lexi Hull. Prechtel back to Hull. From 10 feet off the glass, settles in. 6-point lead for Stanford. Lexi and Lacey's parents in attendance here tonight at the McCarthy Athletic Center.
Just like I said, so efficient with those cuts and just getting themselves space and room to work.
Here's Kempton. Drives on Prechtel again. Got the shot up and through this time. Had a little stutter in there.
That little hesitation got Prechtel up just enough to get around.
Kempton now with 16. It's a 4-point game. Bounce pass. Wilson. But Trong took it away. She's bumped and fouled by Lexi Hull. That's number 3 on Lexi. Not a terrible foul as Lexi kind of slowed down the transition for Gonzaga. Allows the Stanford defense now to get set up. And Lacey will come in for Anna Wilson. I always wonder, is Russell Wilson?
Is he here?
Actually, they're playing, right?
Oh, so there you go.
Aren't the Seahawks playing today? Right now, I think so. I guess that answers the question. If he's watching us, it would be a story, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Virgege, Trong. Got Brink in the air, shot for 3. It won't go, but she's fouled by Brink. And that is number 3 on Cameron Brink with 54.8 to go in the third quarter.
And I really feel like Gonzaga's success has been when the ball has been in the Trong's hands here. She started that off, getting into the paint with her drive, and then they're so crafty.
Yeah, they're really good. They're really good.
They've been patient in the paint. They haven't been picking up their dribbles, keep working it around, finding their teammates.
But they epitomize what a point guard is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're just so crafty with the ball. They make everybody on the floor better. They can shoot it. They're scoring guards. Right? They got the whole package.
Well, there's the thing. So they're a scoring point guard and a facilitating
Yes.
point guard. So they've got it both, right?
Yeah.
They're not just locked into one or the other. Sometimes you see like point guards may just be scoring point guards or just
Yes.
a facilitator.
And there's 2 of them.
Yeah, right.
1-point game, final minute of the third quarter. Lacey Hull. Sierra Walker there. Prechtel flashes in front. Hull keeps it right to the glass. Nobody stopped the ball. Stanford up by 3.
That basketball IQ there, she did give a little hesitation there, just enough to give her that advantage on that drive.
Eacham wanting the ball. Squares on Lacey Hull. Into the paint. Shot was blocked by Hull. Good defense. There's Lexi. Eight on the shot clock. Eacham out on Lacey Hull. Into the corner. Hannah jump. Bodies on the floor. Whistles. No shot. And this foul will go against, I think it's Sierra Walker. And it stops the clock with 2.9 to play. That's 4 fouls on Gonzaga this quarter. Actually, it's on number 14, Kaylin Trong. And so Stanford will be inbounding it under the bucket with 2.9 on the clock. Hannah jump under there. Here we go. Prechtel blocked. Kempton got a hand on it. And that'll do it for the third quarter. Zags defense rising to the occasion there. But Stanford now goes to the fourth quarter with a 3-point lead on Gonzaga. 50-47 our score. The Zags led by Melody Kempton, 16 points. Gonzaga coverage of the game brought to you by Primera. Primera, proud partner of Gonzaga basketball. And highlighting that play right there by Melody Kempton, doing it on the offensive end, but she's 20 feet from the bucket out there to block a shot from downtown.
Mel Kempton doing a lot tonight. We were just talking about going into the break, 16 points, 6 of 10 shooting, 4 for 5 behind for free throws, couple rebounds, 3 fouls though. Gotta be smart.
Well, 10 minutes on the clock. Stanford 2-1. Zags unbeaten. Stanford, the defending national champion. Hollingsworth rimmed out the 3. Ejim runs down the offensive rebound and is fouled. Is that Lacey Hull or Prechtel? Foul on Lacey Hull, I believe. And that'll be her second. But anyways, to complete the thought, Stanford ranked number 7, defending national champion on the road. Credit to them for coming to a place like this to play. Hollingsworth can't connect. Ejim the offensive rebound, and another foul against Stanford, which could be huge as we get deeper into the fourth quarter. You put the Zags at the line where they're really good.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They're 12 of 13 from the for the day, and if you can rack up some of those fouls and get yourself to the free throw line, that's going to be a huge plus for Gonzaga.
Here's Sierra Walker. Hand off. Kaylee Trong. Ejim trying to go to the post, not there. Lacey Hull chasing Trong. Oh,
Look
great
at
feed. Ejim wide open.
I think you got to keep going to that. Anytime the ball is in the Trong's hands, they are finding players. They're reading the defense. What a pass.
Oh, a good point guard can make your team so good. And a jump. Lexi Hull battling for the loose ball, and it goes to Gonzaga. It's off. of Hull out of bounds.
And
but right now we're seeing a team with a great point guard versus a team that needs a great point guard.
Yeah, you're right. You're watching Stanford, who lost Kiana Williams. She was so big for them, playing that point guard position and making big shots for them in some big-time games.
Hollingsworth, corner three. Bingo! Zags back in front at 52-50. Hollingsworth into double digits, 10 points, 2 of 3 from downtown. And a foul inside against GU. And I believe it's on Hollingsworth. Actually, it's on Sierra Walker, number 13. And that's her second. Quick shot, Hannah jump. Well off, picked up Lacey Hull. Back to jump. 10 on the shot clock. Lexi Hull backs it out, not Lacey.
Mismatch down inside against Sierra Walker on Beliebe.
Here's Beliebe with it, driving. Hollingsworth was there, but led her inside.
Yeah.
And we're tied at 52.
And that's twice now that Sierra's gotten stuck on Beliebe. Gonzaga's going to have to figure that out because they're finding her down low.
Walker. Here's Williams. Hollingsworth wanting it, but a long way away, and Beliebe picked up the personal foul. Beliebe with the bump, her second personal. And that's number 3 on Stanford here in the fourth.
And if you're looking at it, that's that aggression that Coach Vanderveer was talking about. They want to be aggressive, but you can't do it fouling. You
gotta be disciplined.
You got to be disciplined, exactly. And you got to adjust to how the referees are calling the game as well, right? So if they're calling a little bit tighter, you got to recognize that.
Kayla Williams, a sophomore from Los Angeles, with the inbound. Here's Kaylin Trong driving on Lacey Hull. Hollingsworth trying to set the screen. Beliebe there to pick up the basketball. Trong on the drive into the corner, right to Lexi Hull. Lexi on the move. And now she'll back it up. Good transition defense by Gonzaga. And now a foul on Ejim, too physical with Cameron Brink. And Ejim picks up number 2. That's number 2 on Gonzaga this quarter. 7:36 to go. Hannah jump with 14 points, inbounding it. Hollingsworth knocked to the floor. Cameron Brink with the foul, and that's a big foul. That's number 4 on her. So Brink, one of the best players in the country, will have to go to the bench right now.
Yep, and it's a good call.
And we are tied at 52 with 7:35 and counting to go. Gonzaga basketball. Number 10, Alyssa Jerome, back on the floor for Stanford. Here's Ejim. O'Connor for 3. Long. Kempton, offensive rebound. Here's Williams to Trong. Kempton sets the screen. Pick and roll doesn't work because Lacey Hull blew it up. And here's Lexi. That was great defense right there.
They do an excellent job of reading that passing lane. They get in those passing lanes so well and disrupt so much.
Here's Lacey. Ejim the block. Speak of good defense. The block and the takeaway.
I think they're saying
she stepped on the end line. Stanford basketball.
Ejim's asking her for something.
There's the block.
What?
Can't tell from the, I don't understand what happened. She came back in. Both of her feet were back on the floor before she grabbed the ball. This isn't the NFL where you can't be the first person to touch it if you've gone out of bounds.
She's got to establish.
She established herself back in. She should have been able to grab that ball. Huh. Oh, and in fairness to the officials, we did not have a good shot down that line. But on we go. Tied at 52. Lacey Hull. Cameron Brink back on the floor for Stanford. Wild shot. Put back doesn't go by Beliebe, and now Gonzaga with a chance to regain the lead. Cameron Brink wasn't out of the game long for Stanford, was she?
No, she wasn't.
Almost picked up number 5 inside. O'Connor can't hit. Brink the rebound.
Yeah, I think you attack her. You keep going at her.
Get her out of the game, right?
Showing some frustration on that last foul that she picked up. I think you just keep attacking her defensively and offensively.
Lacey Hull, 6 minutes to go. The move on Ejim. Left hand up and good. Lacey Hull with 4 points.
Boy, Lacey's had some really good moves when she's gotten out on that wing, and they've cleared it out for her.
And a timeout called. Gonzaga with 5:49 to go. And number 7, Stanford 54, Gonzaga 52. What a game this afternoon in Spokane. Back in a moment. And welcome back. Well, if you're a fan of high school basketball, then you know all about Lexi and Lacey Hull. Graduated from Central Valley in 2018. The Hulls were 102-6 in their careers. Their final 3 seasons at CV, they were 81-1. Won state titles in 16 and 18. Sisters were the Seattle Times 2018 Coast State Players of the Year. Lexi, the Greater Spokane League's all-time leading scorer, better than 1,800 points, 2-time Washington Gatorade Player of the Year, and they ended up playing for the great Tara Vanderveer down at Stanford. And great collegiate careers, which now includes a national championship.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. They are fun to watch because they hustle, they're aggressive, they can score. Just how fun.
And they get to come home.
Then they get to come home, yeah.
Here's Strong inside, too hard, loose. And it's controlled by Lacey Hull. And Lacey with just 4 points in this game, but she has had a major impact on the defensive end and rebounding the ball like that. Lacey's got 5 and 7 assists. Her sister Lexi has it roll off, and now another tie-up, and it remains with Stanford.
Stanford looking to the Hull twins right now quite a bit, putting the ball in their hands, getting them some clear outs where they can work and get into the paint.
Ejim out of the game. Beliebe drives on Kempton and scores through Melody Kempton. Tough bucket there. Stanford now in the lead by 4. Beliebe with 14 points on 6 of 10 shooting, 4 rebounds. And a whistle. Foul inside on Stanford. That's number 5 on them. 4:52 to play. Number 7 Stanford with a 4-point lead on the road against Gonzaga. 56-52 our score. Back in a moment. And I've been told that's what we call the floss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not have that in my dancing repertoire.
Did you ever?
I think it's a fairly new move.
Yeah, but could you have done it when you were young? I
Boy,
bet you
I don't
could
know.
have. I bet you could have. Me? Not a chance. Not at any moment in my 28-year life. Stanford up by 4. But Gonzaga at the free throw line. And the first one up and good for Eliza Hollingsworth. Eliza had some big moments in that first half for Gonzaga. Came in and hit some key buckets to keep the run going. She hits both the rest of the way.
Yeah, we were talking about that at break, how big that is for Gonzaga. Stanford has been fouling throughout this game, and so if Gonzaga can keep putting the pressure on them and get themselves to the line, that's going to be a big success.
Should correct myself. It is the bonus the rest of the way. And Trong has it. Great defense there by the Zags. And now a foul called on Belibi, I believe, for a kick.
No, I think Trong was just smart right there. She just hesitated to get Belibi on her back.
I shouldn't say a kick, it was a trip.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
Watch the official right there. He'll sell it one more time. So Trong at the line. Kaylee, the junior from Houston, Texas. It's interesting that Drew Timme for the men's team from Texas. The Trongs from Texas. Lacey Hull lost the grip, picked it back up, somehow got away with a carry, went to the rim, Hollingsworth with it.
Wow, I think she was even surprised something didn't get called on that.
Unless the ball was poked away, I don't know, but that certainly looked like a carry there by Lacey Hull to me, and now a kick ball called, 4:11 to go. Another look at it right here. Yeah, she just lost. She got away with it. Kempton has it sent back again by Prechtel, but she's got it again. Ball tipped out of bounds by Lexi Hull, 15 on the shot clock.
That's a couple times Kempton's tried that against Prechtel, and Prechtel's like, I'm not having that. So Mel's got to, she's got to use her quickness on the taller Prechtel there.
What a weapon Ashton Prechtel is. I mean, she's obviously really good at defense interior. And then she can pop out and shoot the three at the caliber that she does. Hollingsworth, open three. That's off. Lexi Hull in there battling and a foul called. And this will go against Gonzaga, I believe, on Bree Salenbein, so number 35.
You're seeing a lot of similarities in the plays being ran for the bigs on both teams. The running plays for Prechtel to get an open three, we've seen a lot for that as for Hollingsworth as well.
Sierra Walker, number 13, back on the floor for GU. Every possession now. So crucial to the outcome of this game. Belibi with a great catch against Kempton. Shot up off. Prechtel, the offensive rebound. Went right over the top of Hollingsworth in the finish. Stanford up by 2.
Yep, the length right there, just so deep. And if you don't get them out of that paint, got to put a body on them.
Here's Strong. Connor in the far corner now moving. Strong into the paint, steps through, left hand off the glass. What a finish. Through Prechtel.
Just froze Prechtel with that little up fake there, that little shot fake.
How good was that? Stanford wanting a timeout. And that'll get these fans on their feet. 2:57 to play in Spokane. Number 7, Stanford 58, Gonzaga 58. And what a finish there by Kaylee Trong. That's as good as you'll see.
Going down, talking with Coach Fortier, she said, hey, the Trongs have a lot more freedom this year. They're directing the plays on the court, directing players, and they've gotten that freedom now being an upperclassman and juniors, and boy, how awesome have they been tonight?
I think you say freedom, and I think of fearless. Like they're going inside there against Prechtel and these huge Stanford players with no fear and getting the job done.
Look at it when they go in the paint or when they're driving on that off-ball screen. They're just splitting the defense. They don't look ruffled or frazzled or anything.
Kaylee Trong now with 9 points. She's 7 of 7 from the free throw line. That last great play a moment ago, her first field goal that she's made, 1 of 7. But with those 7 dimes or 7 free throws and 5 dimes, what a game it's been. All right. 2:45 to go, tied at 58.
Nice help by E-Jump, recognizing that play for jump, but then that puts the smaller Trong, Kaylee Trong, down below, guarding Beliebe.
And Trong called for that foul. She had lost her footing and fell into the back of Beliebe. And that is 14 fouls on GU. Here's Beliebe with the catch. Hull blocked from behind by O'Connor and a foul called. So Stanford now shoots 2 the rest of the way as well.
I thought it was clean, but the ref, that was seemed like a late whistle on that, saying it got her in the head.
So Lexi Hull at the line. Lexi with 8 points. Her first free throw of the game is up and good. She's nails. 59-58. One of 2. Beliebe trying to keep it alive and then threw it off of Kempton. What a play there by Beliebe to earn another possession for Stanford.
You're right. She kept working and working.
Here's Hannah jump. Cameron Brink back on the floor. Jump from the corner. Long on that shot for 3. Stanford up by a point. Kaylee Trong with the basketball. Here's Kempton. Melody 16 points, but has been quiet here in the fourth quarter. Trong on the drive. A little stutter into the corner. Here's O'Connor. 8 on the shot clock. Trong, open 3, off. Cameron Brink the rebound. And Lacey Hull with it for Stanford, under 2 to go. Ashton Prechtel directing traffic for Stanford right now. Here we go. Brink with the ball. Eacham out there to contest. Brink on the drive. Off the glass. Count the bucket. And a chance for 3 for Cameron Brink. She's got 12. Stanford up by 3.
Wow, did you see the length on that drive? Look at
1 or 2 dribbles. The fans wanted to travel.
Yeah. They're watching the replay on the big screen right now, counting out the steps.
They're like, how can she get from 20 feet out to the rim in 2 dribbles? But she just did it.
Yeah.
And credit to Cameron Brink for staying engaged. She has struggled through foul trouble most of this game. Can't convert the 3-point play. Walker had it. Brink down now. She and Kempton battle for it. Possession arrow will give it to Gonzaga. 3-point game, 1:36 to go. Gonzaga basketball. But Brink right now 12 points, 5 rebounds, 6 of 8 from the floor. And 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Here we go, big possession.
And this is where all that big games from the NCAA tournament experience comes real handy.
Here's Trong, the top. That would have tied it. Anna Wilson, the long rebound. Lacey Hull. Kaylee Trong right there defensively.
Gotta get a stop if you're Gonzaga.
Hull with a lot of dribble. Lost it out of bounds. Waiting for the official to indicate possession. I believe it's going to stay with Snow. A foul is called. A foul on GU. And it's on Kaylee Trong. Here's the drive. There's the poke. Good call. So Lacey Hull at the line, her first free throws. Short.
First miss of the season. She's only shot 3.
And her parents. 1 of 2 for Lacey Hull.
And that's big because now it makes it a 2-possession.
Sure does. And a timeout called. Lisa Fortier and Gonzaga. Zags for the game now shooting 37%. But more importantly, in this quarter, they're 3 of 12 at 25%. Stanford has really ratcheted up their defensive pressure. Been really active on the inside. Nothing easy for Gonzaga this half. Agree?
Agreed, yeah. It's been tough. Gonzaga's had some success in some areas, but missing a couple big shots. We see the Trongs have some open looks.
Yeah, they had open looks at 3.
But weren't able to hit them, and that would have been big.
Stanford this quarter, 5 of 14, 35%. Look, win or lose, this has been a wonderful basketball game this afternoon.
Yeah, you've seen
two teams with great players going at it.
Just competing. We talked about that. Just coming out and competing. Really, I think each team, well, maybe not Stanford in that first half, but have really played the basketball that they look to. Aggressive. Obviously, Stanford picking up those fouls on being aggressive. Coach Vanderveer not liking that, but.
Here's Kaylin Trong, a minute to go. Gonzaga down by 4. Kay Lee turned down the open 3. Over Prechtel. That shot won't go. Brink the rebound. Rips through. Had to be careful with those elbows. Here's Lacey Hull with it for Stanford.
Got it.
Prechtel. Lexi Hull. Poked away. Sierra Walker. Good defense. But it's Stanford basketball. 14 on the shot clock. 36 seconds to play.
I'm kind of surprised Gonzaga did not foul, especially Brink missing those 2 free throws when she had that ball.
Here's Lacey Hull. Trong fell down, and now Lacey is tripped. And a foul will be called on Kaylin Trong. With 34.1 seconds to go, O'Connor ready to check in for GU. And Lacey Hull, number 24, will go to the free throw line, where she is 1 of 2. 5 points today, 5 rebounds, 7 assists for Lacey Hull. And limping off the floor there was Kaylin Trong. Big free throws. First long. Missed them both.
Timeout.
Timeout, Gonzaga. O'Connor with the rebound. 62-58 our score with 33.7 seconds to play. And if you're Lisa Fortier, you're drawn up what?
I think you got to look. I think Trong had that shot on that last play. They ran it for her to come out on the 3. And she got the post to hesitate, or the help defense to hesitate enough, and I think she took a tougher shot by going in for that 2-point shot. Obviously, with the timeout, they get to advance it to the half court. So looking for something where they're bringing off a Trong off of a couple screens. You also have Sierra Walker that you can look for, but you don't need the 3. So if you can get an easy 2.
I was going to ask you, you don't need to take the 3
No.
yet. Gonzaga 3 of 13, 1 of 6 from behind the 3 in this quarter. Overall for the game, they're 4 of 14. They started out shooting the ball from deep well, but since then it has really cooled off. Melody Kempton on the floor, number 33. Leads Gonzaga with 16 points. O'Connor will be unbounding it. Here's Ejim. Cameron Brink right there. Down low. And a foul is called as O'Connor could not get to that ball as she was knocked to the floor or tripped, I believe. So free throws coming, as that foul was called on Brechtel.
And you could see the attention that Sierra Walker was gaining coming off of that backside, coming towards the ball, really focusing on her, and Gonzaga looking for that quick 2 with Abby O'Connor. Gotta hit this free throw.
Free throw makes it a 3-point game. 1 possession. Timeout. Tara Vanderveer and Stanford. 29.4 seconds to go.
So if you're Stanford, you just put the ball in your best free throw shooter's hands right now. You do not have to shoot it. Shot clock's off.
And with Haley Jones out, who leads this team at 73.7% from the free throw line. Again, Lexi Hull is 33%. Bolivia is 67%. Brechtel is at 60%. Anna Wilson, 3 of 3 on the season. Lacey Hull, 3 of 3 coming into this game. But Lacey, 1 of 4 today. So again, that's one of the weaknesses when you look at Stanford's roster. They're not good at the free throw line.
Right, yeah. Definitely an area for improvement. Obviously not a lot of free throws shot by Stanford yet on the season yet to really shake out those shooting percentage averages.
Yeah, Cameron Brink 0 for 2 today. She's 12 of 20 coming in, but it was Haley Jones who was 14 of 19, their best free throw shooter, who's over there on the bench in street clothes. Has not played today. Brink inbounding it, 29 seconds to go. Lacey Hull, and immediately fouled by Williams. So Lacey will go to the free throw line, where we've been talking. She's 1 of 4 today. And Lacey on the season was 3 of 3 coming in. So she is now 4 of 7 and short on that. So big free throw here, obviously. 28.6 seconds to go. Gonzaga down by 3. That one's good. 1 of 2. 2-possession game. Timeout Gonzaga, 28.6 to go.
And that's their last timeout. So again, you can go. There's time to go for a quick 2. You run, Gonzaga's done a lot of good action for their shooters, running a lot of good actions, getting them in movement, getting them multiple screens to shift that defense. There's still plenty of time to go for a quick 2. And then if you got the miss, you got to be crashing the boards hard.
The Zags with just 3 players today to hit threes. Hollingsworth 2 for 4. Sarah Walker 1 of 1. And Caitlin Trong 1 of 3 from downtown. They're 4 of 14 for the game. 1 of 6 in this quarter. 2 of 8 in the second half. And so will she bring Hollingsworth in? Do you bring her in here?
It doesn't look like it.
You don't need a 3, as you pointed out.
Yeah, it looks.
Well, you can feel the tension in here, can't you? And that music that the band is playing helps build the tension.
So, yeah,
These 2 teams have played 13 other times.
Right.
Or, I'm sorry, 11 times in the last 13 years. Stanford
and,
with a 9-2 record.
Going back the last, handful of years, they have played each other very close. Splitting wins, overtime last year.
Here's Kaylee Trong. Lacey Hull there defensively. Trong driving with the left hand. Needs some help. Killing a lot of clock here into the corner. Walker for 3. Bingo!
Got it found.
Gonzaga's alive with 15.2 seconds to go.
So Stanford calling a timeout to advance the ball as well. Coach
what a shot in the corner, and what a pass from Trong. We were blocked by the official. I'm not sure where she was even throwing it, but look who she throws the ball over.
A little back screen. backside flare there.
And Kempton with the screen to free Walker for that shot. Great offense, Gonzaga. And it's a 1-point game, partner, with 15.2 to go.
And that's just one of those plays where you know when it's coming to you, you're just salving, right? You're like, give me the ball, right? You're just trying to be cool and calm and collected. You're like, oh, I know it's coming to me. Money.
Yeah, what a beautiful stroke. Walker now 2 for 2 from downtown. Stanford with the 1-point lead and the ball. And a lot of game left. Stanford's got to make one more play to take down Gonzaga.
Putting all their players at that half-court line to give them more space to move and cut.
Zags need a steal. Here we go. Brink inbound to Anna Wilson. Trong there, poked away, loose ball, picked up by Trong, but a foul is called. Oh. That Zag defense was all over Wilson. And Anna, the sister of Russell Wilson, will go to the free throw line.
Going for a quick steal there, really quick, and almost got away with it. We talked about this. Anna Wilson, 3 for 3 coming in.
But with 12 seconds to go, the best she can do is put Stanford up 3. And now the best she can do is Stanford up by 2. Gonzaga's going to have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, I know. Frank, you're right on it. I don't know what else to say. This is it. The crowd's going nuts.
1 of 2 for Anna Wilson. And here we go. And now a whistle.
Clock start before she touched it. Yeah, maybe.
Well, that quiets everything down. Clock did not start.
Okay.
Kaylee Trong with it. Lacey Hull chasing. Here's the bucket. Kaylin Trong off the front. Loose ball. Kempton had it. Goes out of bounds. Stanford basketball with 3.5 to go. The Zags had a good look at it and had a chance at an offensive rebound as well. And another look at it. That's Kaylee to Kaylin. And then the offensive opportunity there for Kempton. Couldn't bring it in. And it's off of Kempton out of bounds. The officials will take another look at it, but from our vantage point, it would look pretty obvious it's off of Melody Kempton.
Yep.
It should be Stanford basketball with 3.5 to go. But look, Gonzaga got a good look at it.
They did, and chance there for almost, like you said, almost had that offensive board. Mel Kempton getting up.
Gonna tip it to herself, but Cameron Brink doesn't have to jump as high as Melody Kempton to get a fingertip on that ball. Still close, isn't it?
Yeah.
What a game this afternoon in Spokane. Low scoring, 64-62, two teams. This has been physical from the outset. Gonzaga played with a lot of confidence today. Stanford came in without Haley Jones, ranked number 7, coming off a win against Portland, but prior to that a loss on their home floor against Texas. Tara Vanderveer still trying to figure out the proper rotations and the combinations for her team as they look to defend their national championship this year. And then Lisa Fortier with a game plan that frankly has Stanford on the ropes here on her home floor.
Yeah, I think you got to be pleased with Gonzaga on how they've followed through with the scout.
Yes.
Right, and executing offensively, keeping the ball moving, keeping that movement moving, the movement going and not getting stagnant. Obviously, both teams learning a lot about themselves in this matchup, and that's what you want in a preseason game.
And when you look at the numbers, I mean, Gonzaga has not shot the ball well this game. It's been uncharacteristic, but again, Stanford makes their living on the defensive end. This is a juggernaut. Gonzaga has battled every second in this game.
Yeah.
Gave themselves a chance to win it, and it's not over yet. That shot a moment ago could have put Gonzaga up in front with 3.5 to go.
And you talk about Stanford, and that's how they scout people. They focus in on what are certain players' strengths, what are their weaknesses, and they play you to a certain way, to your weaknesses. And they've got them locked down to every player.
So the officials are still over there
Right.
looking at this. They know how important it is. I wonder if they have another angle. Maybe they have the in-house angle as well as ours to look at, or is it just ours, or is it just the in-house? They have both angles to look at. From our best angle, it appears that the ball was off of Melody Kempton. Let's take another look. There's Brink and Kempton up there. See that right hand of Kempton.
And you just assume Mel's hand was on the inside of that.
Yeah.
Closest to the ball there. And they could also be looking at the clock too, making sure time. You know, there's a lot of things that they're.
Another look. Here's another angle. This is kind of our vantage point here as we call the game. See that right hand of Kempton seems to push it out.
I'm with you.
I think it's her right hand that is the last finger to touch it. There's one club on this floor that has 8 McDonald's All-Americans on. And the other one, great players. And really had themselves in position today to get the 4-0. Foul called. Clock is stopped with 2.7 seconds to go. So obviously still a chance for Gonzaga. Unless Lexi Hull hits both free throws, it'll push it to a 2-possession game.
Yeah, big time. So again, not a lot of free throws shot on the season. Coming into the game 2 for 6 tonight, just 1 for 2.
Lexi with 9 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist. And she can ice the game right now with the free throws. And now the officials are over there to make sure that there's 2.7 because it went from 4 to 2.7. That's only a second and 3/10. And they want to make sure that that's correct. A 1/10 of a second could make a big difference here. So I guess they're happy. Here we go. Lexi Hull at the line. Lisa Fortier looking on. Will her team have one more chance? Hull's free throw up and good.
And again, Gonzaga has no timeout, so they can't call a timeout to advance the ball.
3-point game. This, the big free throw. Lexi hit them both. 2-possession game. Trong, the heave from half court. Short. Stanford on the road, earning a 4-point victory against the Gonzaga Bulldogs here at the McCarthy Athletic Center. What a game. What a treat. That's one of the best games I've watched. It really was.
Great first game for me. Yes.
And both teams playing at a really high level. Maybe the coaches disagree with that statement, but I saw 2 teams really competing and going at each other today.
Yeah, give Stanford credit. They did not. Gonzaga came to play right from the beginning. They really did. They were aggressive. Stanford was struggling a little bit. Obviously, they've been trying to find the rotations. No Jones tonight. So it took them, I think, a little bit of time to settle in. Got more aggressive. And, boy, if you look at Gonzaga, though, you got to be really happy of what they showed tonight.
Oh, man.
You're going to go into this, obviously you're disappointed because you had the number 7 team on the ropes. And, you know, if 1 or 2 shots go down, a different outcome. But hey, Gonzaga showed a lot tonight.
That's the defending national champion that they almost beat.
Yeah.
They're up by as many as 15 in that first half. Stanford came back, eventually earning the victory. They're now 3-1 on the season. Time to announce today's player of the game, presented by A to Z Rental. No job is too big or too small. With 8 convenient locations, we rent everything. Let A to Z Rental be your most valuable player. And that player is Hannah Jump, number 33.
Hannah Jump coming in, knocking down some huge three-pointers for the Cardinal, especially in that first half when they were struggling, trying to find themselves. She went 4 for 10 behind the three-point line, 5 for 11 on the night, just 14 points. Just gave them that breath of fresh air that they really, that pick-me-up that they needed in that first half.
Congratulations to Stanford. And I know Gonzaga's at a point now where moral victories are not important anymore for this program, but I don't care. Congratulations to Gonzaga. That's a heck of an effort with a young team, a new team this year that just took the defending national champion to the final possession.
Absolutely.
Big time.
Yeah, big time. I think you learned a lot about this team. And I've said this as I've watched them in their first few games. I said the potential for this team is very high. And as they get more experience playing together and getting those rotations down, they are going to be a tough contender.
Number 7, Stanford, now 3-1. The Zags 3-1 as well. And we're off to a tremendous start here on Thanksgiving week in Zagville. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. Big thanks to our entire SWX television crew this afternoon at the McCarthy Athletic Center. What a treat it was to be courtside for this one. Our final score, number 7, Stanford, 66, Gonzaga, 62. For Stephanie Hawk-Freeman, I'm Greg Heister. Good day from the McCarthy Athletic Center, and happy holidays.